And so what you find as you reach out for stakeholders, as you reach out for business partners, that you've got more people standing in line to help you than you even know, but you're not going to know it until you reach out for those stakeholders. Most of us that are successful in anything in our business are products of change. Now, some people, particularly in the mid-management ranks of corporate America, fear that word change because change is a scary thing. Research tells us that change is 90% positive. And the average person and the average company changes at the rate of 71% per year. So my question, my challenge to you is the change going to be for the good, for the bad? One of the things that we do in the strategic planning process, and I urge you to come talk to me about it in the back of the room, the first piece of advice I would give you is, who are your customers? Bigger piece of advice is, who do you want your customers not to be? What are the mistakes that your competition is making? The best ideas that we've ever done in corporate America is to look at how our competition is royally screwing up. Companies out there are standing in line to make us mistakes every day of the year. And when the speakers today talk about quality control issues, ISO 9000, all of that wonderful stuff, everything you're about to hear for the next 2 days is going to be valuable in your toolbox to move you forward. And I gotta say, moving forward is the option, standing still isn't. And progressive industries like this industry have not stood still for 109 years. I thank you, I warmly congratulate you, and I honor your great activity of working together, and you're in for a treat of the wonderful presentations over the next 2 days. And please spend the maximum amount of time in the exhibit hall, because it's going to make you better companies, a better association, and a better industry, and that's how you're going to stave off the next recession. Thank you very much. It was an honor to be here. Most of us, hopefully, have learned the lessons that we should have learned from the last recession. That's one of the problems of corporate America. Corporate America wants to think, well, let's just get our sales up. Let's just get our fourth quarter really locked in. Let's get our annual bonuses and we'll just ease on down the road. Problem with that, and I've said this same remark to the Texacos and AT&Ts of the world, is that's short-term, short-sighted thinking. In the food industry and agriculture, in all aspects of your industry, you generally think in 5-year cycles. That's a good thing. Corporate America thinks in 1-year cycles. That's a bad thing. We go back, we talk about that term stakeholders. Think about other entities that could help you. You know, I take a premise when I go in and do an assessment of a company, and I take the premise called 3 lines offset or wrong. And that means that most companies are doing much more right than they give themselves credit for doing. Most companies are planning and strategizing, they're just not calling it that. So what you find as you reach out for stakeholders, as you reach out for business partners, that you've got more people standing in line to help you than you even know, but you're not going to know it until you reach out for those stakeholders. Focus, big picture. Most of you would be surprised to know that only 2% of the businesses in this nation have a plan of action. That means that 98% do not. and that includes some of the big automakers. They don't really have a strategic plan. They have a bunch of sales figures. They have a bunch of criteria. They have a bunch of branding slogans. Those by themselves are not strategy. All of that feeds into strategy. I would encourage you, your company, and your industry to go back and refocus on your plan. Do you want to be one of those with a plan, or do you want to be one of those that falls by the wayside? As I said earlier, those companies without a plan, 40% of them will be out of business in the next 5 years.